Hi, this is Rob with Custom Chronicles, and today we are doing pinstripe hot rod flames on this Harley set of skins here. And so anyways, we're going to kind of go through the process. I've already obviously painted them black, and so the next phase is to center line the tank, the rear fender. That I'm just going to freeform it on this and this, the side covers there. And I think that's it. We're going to get into it, and well, hot rod flames coming up. Got this marked right here. That's a center line mark there, and a center line mark for the tape. Obviously I measured it out, divided in half, and blah blah blah. There we go, center line mark, and then I will get the line down it. Okay, I got the tape up there, and I just kind of gently just pull this down. It's relatively quick, and I'll look to make sure that looks good. It was that simple. Just a little setup in advance and makes the whole world of difference in getting the job done quicker and better. So anyways, there's that, and then I'm going to start to go ahead and lay out the flames. Now that the center line's done on this tank and both fenders, I'm not worried about center line on the side covers. I'm going to go ahead and start laying out the flames. I'm going to get the camera set up and then just start doing it. Okay, now I got the center line all done. I'm going to come in and start laying out my stripes. I'm doing one half of it, and I'll template it. The reason I do the tank first is that's going to set up what's going to happen with the size and form and shape of the hot rod flames on both the fenders. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of get this kind of going. And I'm not 100% prepared here. I usually have a pair of scissors or something to cut these. So anyways, there's the first line. Okay, there is. I'm back. Get this going here. I may be a little bit fat up top there, but we can make adjustments as need be. And the other thing that's going to be going on is that I'm going to come in. These are going to be narrow, long flames, so I'm not happy with this at this point because it's just too fat right in here. I'm going to readjust this line right there. I am good with the form on that one, so I'm going to kind of keep going on with this one here. These are going to be pinstripe flames. I'm not going to paint in here, so that's just part of the gig on that. And we're getting them kind of nice and stretched out, and they'll go up. And I need to adjust the camera because now you can't see what I've got going on here on the side. This line right here is a little wonky to me, so I'm going to again make adjustments, and I can see where this is coming around on the side. I'll put the camera right here, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and readjust this whole thing here, this whole apparatus. They're just not happy with it. Make it more the way it should be. And ultimately at the end of the day is what's going to happen is that I am going to be tracing on the inside of here and then pulling the tape. And when I do that, then I'll have the lines there, and then I can just basically pinstripe. This is kind of tight. I kind of pulled the tape out a little bit too much there. So anyways, hopefully I'm not getting too much in front of the lens. But again, this is just the forming of the graphic here. And again, I could change it up as necessary. And this will be as far deep as I go on that there. And you see that how fat that is? I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of there and readjust this here, and I may have to come back. It's a game. It takes time to do this, and maybe what I should be doing is going ahead and putting this in time lapse, and that way you can just kind of see it going on, and I won't be boring you with my kind of babbling and junk. So I'm not happy with that. So this whole piece of tape's gone. It's wasted. Now I'm looking at it, I don't think I'm very happy with that either, so, but we'll see. So if this lays out right and that looks decent, then we'll carry on. All right, I think part of my problem is I got the camera where I kind of need to be working to show that. So I'm going to just go ahead and clip it off and take care of this, and then I'll go to the next stage. You kind of got the point on that. Is I'm basically rolling tape around and trying to lay out the form, and I'll be back and forth on that. I'll time lapse the other side, and I'll also probably time lapse the fenders. And if there's anything that's important to say, I'll just kind of stop the time lapse and make sure I make a point about it. But then, and here's the front fender, and I got the flames on it. And I actually marked the fender right there front so that I don't put them on backwards. Again, it's those little things that'll make a difference and keep you out of trouble. But I'm not going to template this. I'm going to eye it up because it's thin enough right there that it's not going to be difficult to do. The rear fender is going to be the same way. Now this one here I'm going to template that way I can, because you can see both right and left side of this tank up here on this top flat portion. So I want that to look good and be even, and this way it just looks right. That's the bottom line, is that if I have like all these lines going everywhere and they're not symmetrical, it's just going to be a mess, and we're going to avoid that. And that's kind of why I do these center lines here. I'll do half of it first, and you can kind of tell I'm a lefty because I'm starting on the left side of everything. And so anyways, there's that. I've got the rear fender due. I will show that when I get the tape on it, and then I will go ahead and start doing time lapses on the two fenders, and then I'll show the process here of making the template. Okay, there is the rear fender. This is all three left sides, the tank, and then the front fender there. And I'm going to go ahead and start replicating this on the right hand side, and also this one on the right hand side. Tank is getting templated, and I've already mentioned that. So there we go. I am going to maybe time lapse this. There it is, the right hand side, and you can see where it connects up in here. I'll clean this little hump up there, and then over to the left-hand side. So we're looking pretty good. I'm real happy with it. And all right, front fender. The front fender's all finished up, and you can see how I kept it uniform on the points and stuff like that, and the pockets right in here. And so anyways, that's out of the way. Time to make the template. Okay, I kind of changed my mind. I'm not going to do a template. I'm going to just freehand this out because actually I'm doing pretty good and being very consistent right now, so I believe I can get it done. If I can't, then I'll go back to the template thing. But there we go. We're going to go ahead and just start taping this out. Okay, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Hope I don't. But anyways, here we go. I'm starting with the center, and what I'm trying to do is match this gap on this side, so I'll just kind of start drawing around. It's not going to be 100% perfect because this is hand done, as always. And here we go. Try to smoothen that line up. See how this is smoother there? Kind of got it cockeyed, but I'll get it. I'll get it. I'm not worried about it too much. I'm trying not to put my arm in front of the camera here. I probably pulled the tape out too much too, and that's part of the issue I'm having. And you can rotate your finger to kind of make these lines as necessary. And I'll correct that here. I'm just going to go ahead and get it going on this side so that I can be done with it. And there we go. So I'll pull the scissors right here. And I'm going to come up into here, and that's going to be not a major issue at all. It's just what it is. Probably got my arm in the camera view. The problem is I'm a lefty. Now I'm using my right because I'm on the right hand side to do the braking on the tape here. And not happy with the smoothness of that. It's just, everything's just not quite there. And sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. And I'll be fighting the same issues if I template it, because the template isn't exactly the same as the side that's there, because by the time I do the pounce wheel and pounce it out. Now see, what I'm not happy about is this gap here. I've been fighting this gap from the beginning, and so it's one of those things. Now I got a solution to that, and I think of what it is I'm just going to pull this out, and you're kind of getting some of my theory here, whether you like it or not. Here we go. Got the theory, and I'm going to just kind of thicken this line up here and then tighten that up there. And that just made that a lot tighter. And I can also, after this, I can correct it once the tape's moved and I got the trace lines down. The trace lines will wipe, and then I can just basically, when I'm doing the pinstripe brush, I can correct it at that point and make it a little bit better. And this is just fighting me. It's fighting me, I tell you. Sometimes that's what makes this difficult with the symmetry. And I'd be again with the template, I'd be fighting some of this stuff. So I'm going to correct this stuff there, because I'm seeing things I don't like. I like this side now. I don't like this side. I liked this side before, but now that I got this one down, it doesn't look so good. So, and you know, this is about the same distance right here, fingertip, fingertip. It's this curve here. And so I'm gonna go to the other side here, see if I can correct that over here. You know, I don't give up and I don't get, you know, too frustrated. If I get frustrated, I gotta walk away because it's just, you know, it's just all that bad negative energy or whatever. It ain't gonna solve the problem. And I'm good with that right there. Because part of the, once this leaves, it's not gonna be so obvious that it may be slightly skewed. But it's, you know, I'm gonna keep it nice. You know, I try to do the best job I can. But again, it's hand done, so, you know, with that thought in mind, let's keep on going. So anyways, come around right this. Let's see, I gotta find the gap right about here and turn it like that. And then we're gonna bring this flame into play right here. So it's what it is, and we'll bring it back. And then this one here curves back, and it's got a pretty good curve right there. And the distance, it's about the same. There we go. Put that off, and then I'm rotating. Now, see, all of a sudden I had issues. Now it's all, I'm back. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna have some more issues coming up, but here we go. I'm gonna, again, you gotta look at that. It's got kind of a thicker tip there. Get rid of this. I got junk everywhere. I opened the door up for a minute, and that was a big mistake. The wind was blowing right in here. So anyways, and then we look it straight across. So we want to get this curve going right here. You know, maybe a little bit higher. So, step behind the camera here, and I'll bring it back on down. Try and do this as smooth as possible. And I will make it smoother on the pinstriping portion of it because it's easier to do it then. And I'm bringing the tip down to right about there. There we go. Clip. And I'll continue on. I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera. You kind of get the point. Maybe I'll just throw this one down real quick. You know, when I'm actually, what's funny is I do better when I'm pulling away from me on this. Now, when I'm pulling towards me at the pinstriping, I do better. It's just kind of like reversed. And let's see, follow this out, and it gets a little thick right there. Kind of make that equal right here. And we're trying to, again, kind of line it up there. And what I'm more concerned about is the heights, you know, right there, because that's one of the things that throws you off. And bring that back around. See how it's not round there? It's got like kind of, it's not as smooth as the other side. And that's kind of where it gets a little bit difficult. And that's where templating actually is easier, is it kind of gets you more in the ballpark of this. But that's okay. I'm pulling this back around. And I'm looking down here, and I'm going to bring it all the way out. And bingo. There we go. Next one's down. All right, now there we go with the tank. I got the right hand side done. Kind of trying to show that there. And you can see where everything kind of matches up. And there we go. It's looking good. Got side covers to do. I got to make sure I get them oriented correctly. And that's it. All right, now on the side cover, we've got the orientation. That's the front, so we'll make the flame come from there. And It's going to kind of, it's really not a lot of space here, so it's just going to be one and a couple trailers. It may just be one. Not a lot of room to work, but we'll get it. Let's see. Hopefully what I'm doing is in focus or in the center of the screen there. I really have a problem with the orientation back here on this side. There we go, like it. Because it's got like flat, and I'm trying to do rounded things on flat, and with the bends in it, the contours or whatever. And let's see, we're almost done here. Last little piece right here, and then we'll have the form of the flame. If I can get it. There it is. And that's all I'm going to do on that. So there it is. Of course, the light's in the way there. There it is. That's better. And there we go. Got both of them. Obviously, opposite side of the bike, opposite directions. So there it is. The next thing is to trace these things out. Now we're going to go ahead and just do this here. And I got my little stubby pencil. One day I'll grow up and buy a new one. I'm just going to kind of trace this, stay right on the edge. And hopefully it's marking it pretty good. Sometimes these things work great and other times they don't. So I just go over it twice. And I will be painting literally on top of this line. And there may be some areas where it gets adjusted and it won't, but then I can wipe it off and make it go away. And that's basically it. Let's see. I'm not going to pull the tape yet. I can probably pull this line here. I'm not even filming where I'm going, so I'm doing a terrible job here of doing the video. I'll go over it again one more time. Just make sure I can see it's on there, which is always helpful. Oops, I got out of control there. Trying to go too quick. So I'll wipe most of it with my finger right there, so I'll go back over this section twice. And pull the tape. And there's our line right there. And that center section should have it. Right here, I'll go ahead and pull it. That's on there. For some reason it's not really wanting to draw up there. So I'll just come in and fill that in. See how it looks on this side, and then I'll shut up and we'll go to the next stage. There it is. Flames are going on. Go ahead and pull this tape. And you can see how these lines are coming out. Right there. Right down here. Let's see right here. Form is coming out. nice. Last one. Of course, it's stuck to my fingernail. There it is. Pull this one. Tidy this up. I don't know what I'm filming. Filming something. All right, there's that. And then I got to do the same thing on this side. Yeah, here's the color blue. I mixed this up, and how I mixed it up is I used 4 parts of this aqua, 1 part of the light blue there, and obviously stirred them together. And that's how I came with the blue. I'm going to get the paint paleted out here with the brush. I've got a scroll brush here just in case I need it, but I'm going to attempt to do everything with this brush. It's SLS MAC brush, not an endorsement. It's what I use, just kind of like the paint, same thing. So anyways, I'm going to get this palette out, get my brush loaded up, and it's a little wet right now, I can tell you that. So anyways, I'm not going to bore you with this. I'm going to just get this going here, get my brush loaded up, and we'll get it happening. Here we go, getting to first lines down. I'm going to come to the edge here, and I kind of got a look. I've already did a bunch of tests on the palette board, so I know what the brush is doing. And I'm just kind of gently rotating that around. Hopefully that's in the screen there. I gotta be careful too, not to bobble. So we're gonna rotate that around again, thicken that line up because I'm gonna get thicker up top here. So I'll hold that down. That actually needs a little correcting right there. And then I'll pick it up. Let's see, thicken this line up. The brush is actually doing really thin. Could have probably went to a bigger brush, but this is a brush I'm comfortable with, so I don't mind doing it twice. So yeah, it's a nice thin repalette here. Gets maybe load a little bit more paint into the brush, and then I'll do this line again but thicker. And I'm actually going to go ahead and back here and start right back here and mash it down, make it thicker. Very end, I'll thin it up at the very end here. We want a nice sharp point. And there it is. There's the line. I'll load back up. And what I like to do is about halfway on the circles here. Got my extra bridging here with my fingers, my hand. Start with the brush, start turning, and we'll drag this on out. I actually like the thickness of this line already. And then once I get heading where I can go straight, I'll lift the brush. So I don't have to sit here with it cockeyed, twisted like this. I'll lift it, load up the paint, and pick up the line, carry it on out. A little cockeyed there, but I'll fix it. There it is. And this is a slow process, so I'm not going to sit here and bore y'all with this, but it's kind of, you get the gist. Sometimes it's good to watch people do things. I watch other people do things and I learn, and I pick up techniques all the time from other people, which is great. And there it is. So, all right, I'm going to can this, and then I'll pick it up when I start working on the fenders. All right, what we're going to be doing here is this fender. I'm going to start on the right and then work my way over this way. And this is a pretty long line, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here real quick. And let's see. I can come back and thicken it up if I have to, but I'm going to gently thicken it up as I go. Because we want to be able to see this from a distance as well. And I'm coming over this side here. So I'm rotating the fender up. And I may go over this twice, just the second time around, to really thicken it up. Get this straight. Now I'm rotating the brush in my fingers, but it's not doing such a good job. See how I smeared that out? But I'm not real concerned about that because I am going to thicken it up. So what I'll do is I'll come back here as I was rotating the fender, and I had to do my fingers at the same time, so I didn't do a good job of that. So there it is. Got it that time, and I'll clean up that line. And I'm going to go ahead and start rotating the brush up top here, and see how I got to pick it up to get the tip up. And that was kind of a tight curve for this brush, and probably for my skill set too, but I did a decent job there. Not the best, but I'll clean it up. And start rotating the brush again. See, I'm on a curved surface, so I got two things that's happening. I got to rotate the brush and rotate the fender to match the curvature here. So it's not the easiest job sometimes, but we're getting it. And like I said, I'm going to come back and thicken this line up. So I'm actually trying to be a little on the thin side now. You see, this is a big tight curve, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the brush up right there. And I'm going to hit the reload just a little bit on the tip. And this is a process. It takes time to do this. So, you know, people think this stuff's done overnight. It's anything custom or restoring stuff takes time. And so anyways, when you don't have a big shop and all the gear and everything to make your job quicker, it does take an individual like myself some time to get anything done. So you just got to kind of be patient with the person that's doing the work, but most people aren't. And there you go. I'm going to come back in, thicken the line up, and clean every bit of this up, so the next go round will look great. And I'll show that after I get it done. I'm not going to repeat the stripe again. Now here's the front fender. It's all dialed in. I just got to clean some of the pencil marks off, but the flames are looking good. And what we're trying to attempt to do is make everything match up, like all the points, and have them very symmetrical here. But remember, it's hand done, so it's not going to be 100% perfect or machine done. And that's what gives it the character. But it's looking good. I'm real happy with it, and the layout is just nice. So moving on to the rear fender, and then the tank will be very last. Okay, here's the rear fender. I'm gonna go ahead and get this striped up, and you can kind of see my reflection there in the paint. There we go. So we're gonna get started on that. Maybe I'll do a little time lapse for a few minutes. Okay, what we got here is the tank, and well, we're going to get this pinstripe. This is the last piece I got to do in this project. Just kind of showing that real quick, and there it is. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling some stripes. I'm going to start on the right. This is a little bit more difficult because of the size of the tank, and unfortunately this one still has a little bit of fuel in it, so I can't really get too crazy on tipping it. But brush is ready, loaded up. I'm going to get right into it. See if I can put the camera somewhere so it gets a video. I'm going to go ahead and get this line done. I've already done down here. I got to thicken this portion up, but I'll do that with a different brush. I got the tank sitting on the table. I'm sitting off to the side, so I'm actually kind of doing this a little cockeyed for myself. But again, patience is the key. I'm not in a big rush to get this done. It's just get it right. And I'm going to start about right here. There's a couple curvatures going on, and plus I got to make the turn of the flame. So it's, again, patience. I'd rather do a thin line and come back and thicken it up than to do a thick line and then botch it and make a mess. So that's how I do things. I'm not going to say it's the right way or the wrong way. It's just the way I do it, and it works for me. And so anyways, here we are, just kind of getting this on. I'm not going to drag this out too long, this little video segment here. I'm going to just get this down. The brush is feeling good, the paint feels good, and I'm just trying to make the curve here. And I see how I'm kind of turning the brush, and I'm bringing it back over. The line thickens up when I do that, so I have to pick it up and then come back in, straighten it out. And then I'm going to start rotating the brush as I come down towards the bottom here. And then having the guidelines really helps. There's no way, you know, my skill set, I couldn't do this freehand. That's why I use the tools. And I'll come in and I'll tip that out, but I need to load the brush back up. But there you go. I'll go ahead and thicken the line up, and then I'm going to come around here. I may do some more time lapse on this. I don't know how far I can carry pinstriping hot rod flames out on these skins here and keep it entertaining, but I'm going to just kind of pluck away. I guess time lapse would be the best way of doing it for people to see, but there it is. I'm going to clean up that line and, you know, finish this up. I'm going to keep on moving on. I've got the first lines on the side of the tank done. I didn't do the time lapse on that because there was no real good place to put the camera. So anyways, there that is. And I'm going to set up the camera over here, and I'm going to work my way to it. Hopefully I don't get my elbow in it too much, but I think we'll be okay. I'll get it set up where it won't be in the way. There we go. Now we're taking a look here at the flames that are already done, did in the time lapse. They're looking good. Not a lot of fixies to do on them. And I just got this area right here I'm not happy with. I'm going to go ahead and time lapse this, and I'm going to just keep on moving along. We got about 20 minutes and 1 minute, that seems, but we're going to keep this rocking and rolling. Alright, I'm kind of done with doing the time lapse on this, but here we go. It's looking great. It's getting there. I just got a few more to do, and that'll be a wrap on it. I'm doing actually really good on this for me. It's basically I'm not having to touch up too much stuff here, so I'm real happy. So I'm just going to not worry about the camera. I'll show this when it's all finished up, and just got a couple more segments in this video. It's pretty basic. And that is it on the time lapse, and we'll pick this up when it gets it clear. All right, I got my stuff all laid out to do the clear. I'm going to show just one round of this, and then basically the finished product after I get done wet sanding and buffing. And here's everything all sitting up, set up, ready to go. And I'm going to get into doing the clear. I'm real happy with everything. I guess one of the points I want to make about what I'm doing with this channel is I'm basically showing people in the I don't know how to word it, showing people that you can do this stuff. You don't need to have a multi-million-dollar facility and all that. It's just your desire to do it and to do a good job. I'm constantly getting better. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of people that are way better than me in every aspect of what I'm doing, but I'm here, doing the best I can. I'm enjoying the process of, laying out these flames. I think they came out wonderful for me. I'm real happy with them, and people like what I'm doing. So I do get some appreciation, but again, this is part of the process. I'm building my whole situation better as I go, so that I can get into a more professional shop and be able to provide a better product at a faster pace. And that's it. That's basically what I'm doing. So I hope that people are learning that, you can do this. I can do it. Anybody can. And so that's it. That's my philosophy for the day. And there's the flames. Just, I'm real happy with them. Everything looks good. So anyways, that's it. I'm going to get spraying the clear, and I'll show this project when it's all wet sanded, buffed, and finished at the end. All right, now here's a good look, all polished out, how this looks out in the sun. Pardon my shadow, but there it is. Everything's looking good. Just wonderful. The shine on it's impeccable. I don't know if you can see the reflection. There I am waving. But anyways, here we go. If you like this kind of content, do me a favor. Please subscribe, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. Tell me how I'm doing. I'm always trying to improve this stuff, and both the artwork and painting I'm doing as well as the videos. So anyways, I got a lot of work to do on both. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you come back and see what else I got going on.